Welcome. Hey Zilla, look there. Everyone's back. Hey, are you happy to see them? You know what? Here, I mean, we're outside. We're still bubbling, but I bubble with my ass. This is Azela. And Azela has long, beautiful long ears because Azela likes to listen to long stories. And here we came to a park. It's the first time we've been telling stories in a park. This is at St. Clair West in Toronto. So in case you ever come and visit, you can join us in the park one day. So Azela, but here, I think you can take your your mask off now. Okay, yeah. See, we'll just tell a story. I have a short one today. I know some of them are long stories, yeah, but you like long stories, right? You like them, and you always like me to put an ass in the story. Yeah, that makes you happy, right? If there's not an ass in the story, it's just not a story. Is that what you think? That's what you just told me. Okay, so this is a short story, and see, we're getting close to the end of this pandemic, I think. Aren't you happy about that too? Yay, yay! And so this story somehow reminded me of this, and we're seeing more people out, and I think one day it'll be pretty safe, and let's hope. And so I think everybody around the world is ready to have some fun, and as long as you're safe, right? It's got to be safe. So there were two old people, an old man and an old woman. They were married, and they had a nice farm. I know. And they had a beautiful old ass, very gentle, very smart, such a good head. And the three of them lived together. They loved each other, and they all got along very well. They had just enough on the farm to eat well. They had everything they needed. They lived near a big forest, too, and they could always go out into the forest and get nuts and whatever they needed. And they had their ass was always happy and helpful and danced around with the old people, and they had a very good life. Sometimes a neighbor came over to help. They helped him too, and there's one thing you need to know about the neighbor. He was just a little bit greedy. He was one of these people who sometimes begrudged the good fortune of others. Begrudge, you know what that. Yeah. So you envy. You wish you had what they had. It's a bit of a nudge too. He's always kind of a little bit irritating. Anyway, he was their neighbor, and you can't always choose your neighbors. And anyway, life went on, and life was pretty good. And they were all getting older and older. They never made their ass do too much work. They treated the ass very well, and things were pretty good. But one day, something happened. You see, if it hadn't happened, how could I tell you a story about it? You've heard that before, right? Yeah. Old man is out at the edge of the farm, right at the edge of the forest. And he heard the sound of a bird singing, and it was not a song he'd ever heard before. It was a new bird song. So beautiful. You can hear the birds behind me, too, in this little park here. You can hear them? You can probably hear them really well with your big ears. And there was something about that bird song that made the old man happy, and he decided to put down his tools, and he and his old ass went along into the forest. They followed the song of the bird. They could keep hearing it. It went from tree to tree to tree, and they went deeper and deeper and deeper into the forest until they came into a part of the forest he'd never been before. But they weren't scared. They were happy, and they were listening to the beautiful bird, and they went deeper and deeper and deeper into the forest until finally the bird stopped at the top of a tree. Such a beautiful song. Made him happy. Made the ass happy too. And right at the bottom of the tree was a spring of clear water. The old man was thirsty, so was his ass. What did they do? They drank from the spring. The old man bent down, drank. His ass bent down, drank. It was the most delicious water they'd ever tasted in their lives. And he thought, should I have another sip? But no, it was time to get home, and anyway, he didn't want to be greedy, and he thought that was fine. It quenched his thirst, made him feel pretty good. So he stood up. Here's the strange part of my story. He felt strong. He was an old man. He was even older than me. Hard to believe, eh? He felt so strong now, like he hadn't felt in 40 years. And the ass felt pretty strong, too. In fact, when he looked at his old ass, he saw that it looked young. It looked young again. And together they went right back through the forest quickly, and the ass was running along, and so was the old man. Well, anyway, he got back to the farm, came into the house, and there was his old wife working away. And he said, "Hi." She looked up, and she was shocked. He said, What's wrong?" "You're young again. And you have a young ass, too." And the old man said, "Oh, my goodness, that water that we drank in the forest, that must have been magic water. Let's go back. It's not too dark. Come on, let me show you." And the old woman's walking slowly. He wanted to go fast, but he knew it was his wife. He had to go like next to her. He always liked to walk with her, not ahead of her. Not everybody does that, by the way. It's good to walk with somebody, not ahead of them. And they walked together, and his ass was so happy, and everybody. And the old woman comes along, and they come to the spring at the bottom of that tree. And she bent down and drank. Oh, it was so delicious. And when she stood up, oh my goodness, you know what happened. Yeah, she was young too. She was as beautiful as the girls and women listening to the story today. Isn't that nice? And the three of them, young man now, young woman, his wife, still in love, and their young ass comes all the way back to the farm. Oh, they were happy. They were happy. They were happy. Life went on. It wasn't too long before guess who heard about their good fortune? It was the neighbor. It was the neighbor. And I told you the neighbor was a little bit of a begrudging kind of person. And you know what we say around our house on the begrudgers? It's hard to say. Yeah. Anyway, on the begrudgers. And anyway, he saw them. He said, where are my neighbors? He said, "It's us." "What? You look 40 years younger." Yeah, we feel 40 years younger. Yeah, it's nice. And he said, "How'd that happen?" Well, they were very happy to tell him all about the spring and the little bird. And the old man said, "Look," except he wasn't an old man anymore, was he? No, he's young. He says, "Follow me. I'll show you the spring." "No, you know what? I'll tell you where it is. And you can go whenever you want. I'm going to stay here with my young, beautiful wife and my young ass." Yeah. And he told him exactly where the spring was. Well, the neighbor went. He didn't even wait till the morning. He just hurried. And he didn't come back. So a whole day went by and he didn't come back. You worried, Isla? You want me to tell you the rest now or next time? I better tell it to you now, right? Okay, yeah. You don't want to wait. No. The neighbor never came back. See, a day went by and the old man, except he was young now, and his wife, they were a little bit worried, and he said, let's go see what happened. They went out, and as they got closer and closer to the spring, they heard a very unusual sound. A baby crying. Wah, wah. And there, by the side of the spring, was a beautiful baby boy. Not crying like you just heard in the playground. Wah. Well, a little bit crying, but not. And the old man, who was now young, said, "Aha, I think I know what happened. He started to drink the water, and he never stopped. He drank, and he drank, and he drank. He was greedy, and he drank too much. And he not only became young, he became a baby." Now, the couple didn't have children of their own. They had their beautiful ass. They had no kids. And now that they were young, they looked at each other and they knew exactly what to do. They picked up that beautiful baby boy and he became their child. He became their child. And the story says that because they raised him with kindness and love and everything nice, he turned into a very nice man. He didn't come back as the greedy neighbor that he had been before. He turned out to be a real mensch. And you know what a mensch is? You know what it is, yeah. Yeah, a really fine ass. I mean, a fine person, a fine being, someone who does the right thing. Whether you're an ass or a person, it's a mensch is someone who always tries to do the right thing. And now we're near the end of the story. We're near the end of the pandemic. This is a folk tale. If you like it, tell it to someone else. If you're bubbling, I hope you're bubbling with a nice ass just like me. I mean, my ass is nice. Me, I don't know. But anyway, and I hope you retell the story because that's how stories stay alive. And one day, if you hear that bird singing in the forest and it's unusual, it's like no bird song you've ever heard before, follow it and see where it takes you. Bye. Say goodbye, Angela. Say goodbye. Bye-bye. And good luck and yay for getting through this pandemic. Okay, bye. Say goodbye. Bye-bye.